Here we go. 30 base. Ready?
Clock now on first down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And the Chiefs are going to get him. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play. Let's go.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the 36, Mahomes, complete. The tight end, Kelsey. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Finding room to the 20. It's Kelsey on the ground. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan. So, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Boston Scott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throwing now is Locke. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now Locke. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have...
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A pass there complete to Sutton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
Switch up.
Throwing on first down is Locke. Screen pass to Lindsey. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From midfield, here's Locke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mahomes on target here to Hardman. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch. And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try to run this one in, and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Boston Scott with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now here's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people think,
well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
43, 15. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Again, it's Williams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On first down, it's Williams. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And this is caught by Watkins. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 38, Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd down, it's Scott. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Locke to throw. Looking deep down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Watch the run. Showing up. Showing up. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3.
On the carry, this is Scott. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They go again with Scott, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down, Locke. He's going to look deep for his running back, Gordon. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tim Patrick, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
I see 47. Double time. He's coming.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Scott slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Bringing up 3rd and 12. Yellow. 180. Attack. 45.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here.
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Lock now on 1st down. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And he's got it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4. One final try for Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Chiefs, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Denver, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.